Hello and welcome to GUI.Dog. Oh yes, what have I been doing all this time? Suhuf, yes, business directory. Built this with AI. Do I know what I'm doing? No, I don't. This is slapstick, carry-on computing. Don't know what I'm doing and I'm not a dev. But this has been built with AI. Yes, so I'm going to be talking about this and how I built it. It's taken a while and it's been a while, so thank you for listening and coming back to the channel. So what it does, it's a business directory. You can search for businesses. It's got some Nostra credentials, login credentials involved with it. So we have some businesses right here and it's live right now. There it is. You can go to find some beautiful businesses. Oh, I've got to log in. Hold on. I thought it worked. Well, there's some teething issues, but essentially you can see that we've got somewhere and we haven't been wasting our time. So there we are. That is it. So how did I build this? So the first thing is I've been watching a few videos, and Mica Lindstedt, he's done select videos on this, and he started with a CSV. That is I don't know what it is, but it's a file, CSV, and I'll link to his video in the description. And from the CSV you would have your business information, so like the business directory information. Where is it? I had it before. Here it comes. There it is. This information in the CSV. Now you might have to scrape the internet for that information. He had it already made, so you know what fits with your situation. You either scrape it, and you would use crawl for AI, and I'll link in the description to that GitHub page. You'd obviously have AI help you do that, or there'll be a CSV already available and you just download that. Once you have the CSV, you tell the AI, you speak to the AI. We're talking about VS Code here. So let me see if I can get VS Code up. Where are you, VS Code? There you are. VS Code, and then I've been finding that RU code, this baby right here, RU code, yeah, is the best by far when dealing with AI and trying to build websites. I mean, I have Klein right here, but that has been kind of, well, it was good for a while, and then, but RU code has, streaked ahead and is a clear winner. So you tell AI that to take the CSV and give you a schema, database schema based on that CSV information. And now this is the secret. I've been experimenting with PRDs, these documents that you tell the AI about what you want to build, and you do that first. So it's supposed to keep the AI on point, but it's failed. And I've even used the BMAD method, and you can see previous videos. All of that is rubbish. What matters is your database. Your database is your PRD. Your database is the anchor that keeps the AI on point on building, and that's the secret right there. It is the database schema. And Mica Lindstedt, and you'll see the link in the description. He points this out, and that's what I did. So basically, I followed his recipe, and I used RU code, and I told RU code, give me a schema database file based on the information, the business information in the CSV, because I'm building a business directory. Now you need to brainstorm at this point. You need to brainstorm everything, all the bells and whistles, everything. I brainstormed, and I put in the Nostra implementation, because I don't want to deal with personal identifiable information, PII, because a little knowledge is dangerous, and we are not devs. It's that simple. You know, we've come new to a technology, and when you come first to a new technology, you don't have to be good, and that's your advantage. You don't have to be good at it. That comes later when people with more money, more time, more skills than you, when they start to adopt the technology, you will be priced out. But for now, because you're new, you've got the advantage, and you can be rubbish and still get things done. But we need to be realistic. We are not devs. We are, we can't be dealing with PII, people's personal information, but it is the emails that make the database, the personal emails of people that make the database. If you want to sell it, if you want to sell the website, if you want to sell your online website business, it is the emails that is basically what makes it valuable. So you've got to take that into consideration. But I've gone along the route of I'll use Nostra for logins, and I will not deal with anyone's personal information, because I don't want to open that rabbit hole, because I am not a dev. It's that simple. I don't know what I'm doing. The extent of my dev knowledge is I tell AI what to do, and it does it. So here we are. So you tell you brainstorm every single feature, and you can actually use let me see. I forgot to do it. I forgot to put it in the. Oh shoot! I forgot to. Where am I? Oh, that'll do. You can use the draw. I think it is. xcalidraw. Is it .com? Oh, I forget what it is. xcalidraw. This network is blocked due to unaddressed abuse. Well, thanks a lot, Google. Anyway, so yeah, so we'll forget about that and go on to. I haven't been abusing any networks, for your information. Those are baseless accusations. Anyway, so you use xcalidraw. You draw the way your website, you want each page to look, with the flow of the website, and then you explain that to the AI, and you tell the AI to put that in the database schema. The logic, whatever needs to be counted, anything and everything that you put in the schema. Now, sometimes the AI will tell you that is not a database thing, which is fine. If it's not something that the database would do, it's something that the website will do itself and not the database, that's fine. You can ask, and you need to really get down to the fine details, and really brainstorm and think about every single thing that you want your AI, your website to do, and have that put into the schema. And also, you need to tell your the AI to check the schema for any cybersecurity and user input, malicious user input vulnerabilities, because you want it to be safe. The AI will build your schema, your database, but it won't make it safe. So occasionally do that. And the last thing that you want to do is you want to tell it that you're going to upload the schema to Supabase, and you don't want any errors. So to check any errors before you actually upload it to Supabase, because what you don't want to do is you want to take the schema, upload it to the editor in Supabase, and I will link to that particular part of Mica's video about uploading it into the editor, into Supabase, so you can have your Supabase up and running, your database up and running. So let me see, can I get the oh, that didn't work. Oh yes, where is it? Here we are, and there is your Supabase. So Supabase is free when you start off, so you can have your database up and running, and then your database will be there with all the features of your website in the Supabase. Now, how are you going to deal with Supabase when you don't know anything about databases and you're not a dev? Well, you go into your account preferences, you go up here to this little circular thing here, account preferences, go to access token. You want to generate a new token, give it a name, and then you need to copy it because there'll be a pop-up with it coming up, and you go back to here we are, where we go, where's VS Code, there you are, VS Code. And the great thing about Uru code, and this is what sets it apart from Klein, is that it has its own marketplace in the corner right here. So you click on, let me just save this because I want to use that later. You click on the marketplace, it takes a while, and there's a whole list of ones, but I'm not going to go through just scrolling. And what you want to look for is Supabase. And what you're going to do is you're going to install, and it's going to ask you for your where are we? No, that's not the one. It's going to ask you for your, yeah, that's the one. It's going to ask you for your access token, and this is the one you give to the VS Code. Let's go back there. Workflow, I'm not very experienced with that. That's the one you give to the Supabase, and then that means that your AI can interact with the database. Now, your database will have security errors. You will need to sort those out, and then Supabase will send you a weekly email about database errors. Now, I will link to a video in the description from Sabrina, and which shows you how to deal with those. So now she didn't enable RLS, but you need to enable RLS. So make sure you go through your whole database, every single table, and click enable RLS, and then next to it is something like set rules, and then set those rules. And then what she did, she wrote something like read in the in part of setting the rules. You don't have to write that, because when you click I can't remember what it is on the side that you click. I don't want to show my database, but basically when you click what she clicks, it will fill in that information and then save. Now some of them will show errors regardless that you've done everything. A lot of them have enabled row level security, that's RLS, and then some of them will show an error that you can't get rid of. But at least if you do it for most of them, you try to keep your database safe, because again, you know, a little knowledge is dangerous, and you don't want to be dealing with people's personal information, and your database is leaking information like crazy on the internet, and then that information is being pilfered left, right, and center, and ending up on the dark web and blah blah blah. That's not good look, and that's not good for business, and that's not good for your reputation. So just use Nostra, and we'll get to that. Let's see now. Let's say, so you're going to use the Supabase one, and then now we're not here to do anything for free, so you're going to use the Stripe one as well. Stripe one right here. So with the Stripe one, you're going to enable that, and we'll go back, and where are we? Yeah, there we are. And we're going to log into the dashboard of Stripe, and again, it is free. And what you want to do is you want to go to the sandbox. The sandbox, because you want payments, but you want to test payments. You don't want to test it with real payments. And right here is your API key. This is a publishable key. Click to copy, and that's the one you're going to use when you go back to VS Code, and you place it here when it asks you to use it. Now there's some other ones that we're going to use. So we've used Stripe, and the other important one is Playwright. That's it, Playwright. Playwright is the one that can actually go to websites and interact with the website, and this is very important. And it comes to the secret of harnessing digital intelligence. I've been listening to Michael Saylor a lot, and he's been talking about how Henry Ford harnessed fire. Like human beings, we learned to produce fire, And Henry Ford learned how to, invented how to harness that fire in a combustion engine. So now digital intelligence is like fire. And if you can harness that digital intelligence, you have innovation at your fingertips. So we're going to use Playwright in order to demonstrate that. So Playwright is one of those things that you're going to have to enable as well in Ru code. Now there is a third one. If you're going to be using the Nostra, how do I get back to that? There we go. If you're going to be using the Nostra as your login and your comment section of your website instead of people's personal identifiable information, you want to go to nostra.dev.mcp. I'll put the link in the description, and it will show you how in VS Code right here, the file's right there, that you can copy this. So you can just copy it, and then if we go back to VS Code, that's it. Where are you, VS Code? There you are. Oh, oops, I messed that up. VS Code, and then what you're going to go down to the extensions, which it looks like the same as the Ru code one, but it's the VS Code one. And you want to go down here to the MCP section. So you might have to actually scroll down, and then you can just show configuration JSON, and here we are, right there. That's what you're looking for, and you can simply copy from the let's go back. You can simply copy from here to here, VS Code right here, and then once that's saved, you need to actually run it. So you can actually run it from this corner right here. There will be a play and you run it, or you can choose settings and you need to start server, and it will show in the output here that it for me it shows discovered 7 tools. This is important because you want VS Code available to your Ru code AI to be able to do things. Now, so when I was growing up, you know, when I was growing up, when I was growing up, it was about fake kimonos, fake katanas, and fake Eastern philosophy was the currency of cool. So, in that respect, I'll introduce the chopstick ancient wisdom of the East. And if you look at the chopsticks, you'll notice that if you're using them, and you don't have to be an experienced chopstick user, one chopstick stays in place and another one moves. And that is the secret of harnessing digital intelligence in order to be able to achieve innovation. It's that you need to present it with something that anchors it, and that is our Supabase schema. And then what you're looking at is you're presenting it again with something that the AI is supposed to change in order to meet that anchor, which is the Supabase schema. So one chopstick stays the same, it doesn't move, and the other chopstick is changed in order to bring it closer to the first chopstick that doesn't move. That is the secret right here. So what am I talking about? So when it comes to actually using Ru code, I shouldn't have done that. There we are. When it comes to actually using Ru code, what you want to do is you want to okay, so basically in order to get your website, so basically you've got your schema, your database schema up there, and then basically you tell it something like using the Ru code Supabase MCP, the Nostra, the VS Code Nostra book MCP, what else, and the Stripe, sorry, the Ru code, you need to tell it Ru code Stripe MCP, build the website according to the features in the schema.sql, whatever it was called, and you should give it the path to it. So basically, to get the path, all you need to do is to highlight the tab at the top, right click, and then choose path. So if I, for instance, let me try that, if you can see it. That's wrong. If this is a schema file right here, I'll just choose copy path. Yeah, that's it, copy path. And then it will give me the path, and then I'll give the path here where the file is. So using the root code Supabase MCP, the VS Code NostrBook MCP, and the root code Stripe MCP, build the website according to features in the Schema.sql and the Supabase and you need to give it the actual Supabase, the name of your database, the profile in Supabase as well. And basically it should have it in the root code Supabase MCP, but sometimes it gets confused. Now, it might be a better idea to actually build the database out bit by bit, but I did it all at once. And then basically when you get your database, you'll fire it up, and basically, nothing happens. And the easiest way to fire it up, the first way is I tried is with, for instance, Python mhttp.server, which is a simple Python server. It will give you the actual where on your computer where to go in the browser to actually see the website. And when you do that, we won't use that. We will actually use a different one, because I thought I had some issues, and it was because I didn't set my database right, and then I'm using a different type of server. I thought I had CORS issue. That's CORS. So if you have CORS issues, leave a comment in the description, and then for the code itself, because I was trying to troubleshoot something, and it turned out to be something else, but then I ended up just using this local server. So if we use that, and then let me go to where am I going? Let me go to back here, and if I go to my, no, that's wrong. I did the wrong thing. Okay, there we are. And if we go to the local one, it takes a while, and there we are. Well, hey, so this is actually on my local computer now. The thing is, the first one I showed you is live. You can go to it right now, but because you'd have to host it on a hosting service like Hostinger, which I recommend, you can't make those changes. So just as I've been talking about the chopstick principle, that you need something to be able to change, and then your local host, your website hosted locally on your computer is what can be changed by the AI according to its anchor, that chopstick that does not move, which is your Supabase database schema, and the instructions you give it. So really, the game changer here is that you can actually make changes to this right here on your local system and see those changes happen. You can actually see them being done, and whether the error messages are coming, because it's not feasible for you to actually make changes with root code and then upload it to a hosting service, and there's a lot of steps to do that, and then go on the internet and then check whether it's done it right or done it wrong. That doesn't work. It's not feasible. So basically right now I've got a setup where we tell it, and let me go to that, because I want to demonstrate it instead of just talking about it. There's something, so there's a problem here. I shouldn't have done that. Okay, I've got an issue here locally. Actually, let me demonstrate the issue locally. No, I won't do that. Forget it. It's wasting time. So I'm going to copy this, and I'm going to start again. Let's get rid of that. So I want you to use the root code playwright MCP and navigate to, and this here is my local, right here. Yeah, right here. That's, why did I do that? So annoying. There. I will navigate to my local website being hosted, and also use this Nostra key. The login with Nostra button doesn't work. Find out why and fix it. Use the VS Code NostrBook MCP if needed. Ask me any necessary questions before proceeding. And I want to get the actual, when it works, I want to get it, I want to take a picture. So let me go, let's have you see that as well. So I'm going to go, the way it's supposed to work is like, I click the profile, authorize just this. No, that's the wrong one. I got fooled by my own local one. I click there. Well, anyway, I demonstrated to you why it doesn't work. And then this is what it's supposed to. So I'm going to take a screenshot. Oh, come on. Like this. Did it show? I'm frozen. Why am I frozen? There we are. Okay, I've unfroze. Okay, because it was taking a screenshot. And then I want to go back to VS Code, and I want to say use the VS Code NostrBook MCP if needed. Ask me any questions before proceeding. You should see what is in the picture when the login button is pressed. And I'm going to paste the picture in there. I'm on code. What else do I need to tell it? No, that's not. I'm running the local server, everything. So I press play, and off it goes. So you will need AI inference from this. If you want to try it out, you can go to the Fascinating Business Forum School, link in the description. It's a 7-day free trial, and you get to win AI inference. Yes, I know, before I said unlimited, but unfortunately, I'm kind of limited in terms of how much AI I've got. And yeah, so now it's doing it right here. So MCP MCP server, I only see the Supabase MCP server connected. I do not see a root code playwright. It's been having trouble with the playwright one for a while, but yeah, we're early. Before I can debug the login, but I need some. Should I use the browser action tool to navigate to the page? I don't see the root code. What is the expected behavior when clicking login versus what is happening? Is the image you shared showing the broken state, or what? Use the browser. The button does nothing when clicked. Profile shows, but login doesn't. Use browser tool. There's an error in the console. Use browser tool. There's an error. MCP. Just read the code. Use browser action tool. The button doesn't. Profile shows, but login. That's so annoying. Alright. One. Should I use the browser action tool? Use browser action tool. 2. Expected behavior. The button should lead to the profile page as seen in the picture attached here. Can I attach it again? Yes. 3. The image shows the profile you should see when the button works. All right, go. So yeah, so now what we're doing is that we've got our database schema and we've got our features already, you know, in our mind. That is the chopstick that doesn't move, and then we're manipulating the chopstick that does move, meaning the website on our local computer right here. And what are you doing now? You're thinking, should I approve? What am I approving? Yes, approve. And it's going to launch browser and navigate to our local computer. Now, the thing about AI, the best way to understand it is that if you want to go from A to B, AI is neither A, the chopstick that doesn't move, or B, it's neither A, the chopstick that does move, or B, the chopstick that doesn't move. It's the path between. AI is very good at finding a path between, but you need to give it, you need to tell it from what, like clay, you need to give it clay, you need to give it something to be able to play with, and then you need to give it the final shape, what it's supposed to turn that clay into. So AI is neither A nor B. It's neither the chopstick that moves nor the chopstick that stays still. It is the path between them, and that's the creme de la creme. That's the secret ingredient. That's the way the way you use AI to harness it, just like fire in a combustion engine, to power innovation. That's the secret right there. So basically, I've got it that I've got my database already set up. That's the anchor, and now I'm telling the AI to manipulate, to change something, the clay, which is my local server website, because I have a certain problem, one problem. And then you want to encounter this, that when you do tell the AI to build your website, you'll go to that website, you'll be all geared up and happy and revved up, and then it won't work and you'll feel dejected. But the Tao Te Ching, it says that most people give up just before they're about to succeed. So give as much attention to the end as you did in the beginning, and there will be no failure. So don't give up, keep going. And there's something else I want to talk about. You know, I'm seeing all these young people, and it is hard for you guys, man. Seriously, I don't know, you know, you're the politicians, the decision makers, and the gatekeepers or whatever. They've really screwed everything up for you guys. You haven't been given a fair chance. And then there's this word that's going around called unemployed. There's no such thing. That's a mind zuck. That word, there's no such thing as an unemployed human being. And I want to emphasize that your job as a human being is to meet one other human being's need, address their need by learning something new and profiting from it. That's 3 things. Meet a need, you know, try to solve a problem by learning something new. That's the second thing. And the third thing is you make a profit out of it. There's no such thing as an unemployed human being. Let's get that straight. So with AI, you're coming early, and you don't have to be good at it because you are early. When technology is so new, it's up for grabs for everyone. It's only later when the experts get in, and then you get gate kept out. So right now you have this opportunity. If you want to try it out, go to the Fastlane Business Forum, link in the description. There's a 7-day free trial, and give it a go. Really, build that website that meets a need. The information is right here. I don't know what I'm doing. The only thing I know is tell AI do, and it does. That's it. I'm just like, you know, sticking this, you know, like carry on computing, slap dash that, do this, do that, and it's working, and you're seeing it working. So it's working right now. So identify the root cause of login button not working. So yeah, so it's doing something. I don't know what it's doing, but yeah. So let's see, what else did I want to talk about? Let me go to the let me see what it's actually doing. I'm watching it. Okay. Well, what we can do is we can actually, so I'm here and this is the local one. I'll refresh. Wow, it did it. Shoot, that was quick. It did it. I've been trying to sort that out for ages, man. How many credits have I gone through just trying to sort that out? There you go. So there's a demonstration right there for you guys. Lovely jubbly right there. Yeah, so yeah, so this is my official one. If you come to Suhuf.co and you get your Nostra sorted out, there's this count next to it, and that is your clout. This one here that I've got down here is going to be what people judge you by. So whether they think you're great or you're not great, but that's the plan. That's the feature in the schema that is in the database right there. But yeah, get your Nostra key early so you can get your clout. It starts at 0 and it goes up every day. So go to suhuf.co, get your Nostra key, sign in with it, sort yourself out here, you know, with whatever your username and so forth, profile, etc., and get that clout up, because that's going to be the more clout you have, as the name goes, as the name tells you, the more clout you have. Yeah, I have a bespoke way of counting likes and features. I don't like the way it's done on the on every website that you see, like, you know, so yeah, it's been something that's been annoying me for like years, and for at least a decade actually. And you know, this is how you can actually build the technology to what you want it to be. And this is the cusp. This is the beginning of a new era, where what YouTube has done to television, AI is going to do to coding, because no more one size fits all. Everyone just kind of fits in with what some dev decided was useful. Now you can actually build niche websites and technologies that meet a small group of people's needs and wants, and then that's the name of that's the game of life, really. That's what we're talking about. There's no such thing as an unemployed human being. What there is that human beings who meet other human beings' needs, they solve them by learning something new and profiting from it, and that's what that's what you should do. Seriously, you know, this is a golden opportunity. This is very few human beings have this chance to harness digital intelligence for innovation, and you basically have intelligence in your hand, just like early human beings had fire. So now there's some aspect that I wanted to show you guys. I wanted to show you really that very important. And when you're brainstorming that website, make sure that you give it a good name. Now, there's a difference between branding and marketing. Branding is about how customers feel about your website, and marketing is for a specific offer, you know. So give it a unique name, and the reason why is because of this. When you go to your actual website, you're going to see up here, well, let's go to home. You're going to see up here, it says Suhuf Business Directory, and that's important. Now, when you have it hosted, what you want to do is you want to go to, let me see if I can get it up there, to the Salacious page. saying things about me that are not true. And let me see. DuckDuckGo. DuckDuckGo. Is it .com? So yeah, so okay, so here we are, DuckDuckGo, and then you're going to do a search. You're going to do for your brand and what it shows in that tab, business directory. Okay, so now I've actually opened it in incognito because I don't want my actual search, my personal searching browsing history to actually affect it. I want to show you that how it's done now. If you take a look here in the AI section, because I use that, and I've only had that website for a few months actually, it's showing up in the AI. Suhuf is a business directory that helps users discover local businesses, including those that are halal certified and accept Bitcoin payments. And that's Suhuf right there. That's my website. It gives you a, I was thinking about generating an answer. Platform designed to help users, halal certified payments, community engagement, etc. Blah blah blah. And then what you do is you click helpful. And then you choose one of these, accurate, and then you say something like suhuf.co.uk. That was the earlier website. I started with the .co.uk, then I got the .co. I've been trying to redirect it. It's been a real bother. Like, yeah, I'm not a dev, man. I'm not a dev. I don't know what I'm doing. So, I mean, you know, that should be an encouragement for you guys, man. So, suhuf.co.uk is the actual website I have been searching for and is the one that is most useful to me. This is a great summary, very informative. I'm not lying because Suhuf is the website I've been searching for a very long time. I often actually use this. And I've never found a website that did it. So, you know, sometimes you got to do things by yourself, you know. And so yeah, send feedback. When you send feedback, that's it. Then you've got yourself in there. Like in the easiest way to get yourself showing up in AI search results is to actually have a brand name that you can search by, and then you use the actual and make sure it shows up in the tab right there. Where are we? It shows up in the tab right there, and then that's the one you use to search for in incognito mode in your and then make sure that AI picks it up. Now I know some of you are going to say, Uncle GUI, come on, you know that who's going to search for that? Yes, I know that there are other search terms involved. I haven't sorted those out yet. I've been trying to fix that login button for the longest time. It's been eating through so many credits. I'm happy that you've seen it, but I've got a strategy for that one. The other generic search terms coming up, but I've got to implement it before I show it to you, because there's no point in me wasting my time and yours by talking about theory that doesn't actually work. Let me do it first and then tell you about it. So if you have found value and you like what you're hearing, make sure to hit that subscribe button and that notification bell and choose all. If you feel some overwhelming sense of gratitude and you feel that you want to reciprocate the value that is in this video, make sure to give us that thumbs up. If you don't like what you're seeing, if you think it's a load of rubbish, load of tosh, give us a thumbs down. Tell us in the comment section why you gave us a thumbs up or thumbs down. Thank you for listening, and goodbye.